In this video, I'm going to show you how to design your e-commerce site so it's extremely effective at making you money so you can create more freedom in your life. And in this specific episode, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of design. I'm talking about the tactics that you can use for optimal success. If you haven't already seen the first video, you can click up here or the links down in the show notes for part 1. This is a 2-part series. I recommend watching part 1 before you get into this. But now let's get into the 7 steps to designing your e-commerce store. Number 1 is the About Us page. And this is so important. When I look at e-commerce store owner's site, a lot of times their About Us page is lacking. This is easy, low-hanging fruit for you guys. And let me explain what I mean here. The About Us page shouldn't just be a bunch of text telling a very boring story. No, it should have at least, at the minimum, a picture of you or some kind of spokesperson of your brand. It should feel personal and engaging. You should really connect with your audience. I know when I'm going to a store that I've never been before, the About Us page is one of those pages I'm going to look at. Do I feel connected with this person? Do I want to give this person my money? So at least have a picture up. Now, even better than a picture would be a video. Now imagine you go to a site that you've never been before and you go to their About Us page and there's a 1 to 2 minute video. You click and you watch it. First off, that's getting the person to be engaged with your site. It's getting them to stay longer. And the data currently says that the longer someone stays on your site, the more likely they are to buy. So get them sitting there watching basically what is a free ad for you. So this 1 to 2 minute video, you can talk about your site. And what's going to happen is the people watching this are going to see, I feel connected to this person, or maybe they don't, in which case you need to make a better video. But what the whole point of the About Us page is to create a human connection so people want to buy from you. Because at the end of the day, people buy from other people. They don't want to buy from companies. We're hardwired to want to buy from other people. We do buy from other companies because sometimes it's cheaper or whatever. But your advantage, if you have a small niche store, is going to be that you're a person, that you're a personal company that's willing to go the extra mile. Number 2, make sure it's easy for them to contact you. And there's a lot of ways to do this. 1, the Contact Us page, make sure it's easy to find. Usually it's in the bottom footer area or something like that. If you can make it a little bit more personal, that's always better, but give them the information, give them an email and a phone number, which leads me to the second part of this. Make sure your phone number is displayed prominently somewhere, usually within the header. This is why Zappos was able to grow so fast and so much market share so quickly, was their phone number was displayed very prominently, and they prided themselves in customer support. You should do the same. I know that, first off, it builds trust. When I see that some site has a phone number, I'm more likely to buy from them because I know if I have a problem, if my order doesn't come to me, I can call that number and say, hey, what happened? It doesn't feel like a scam. Even though this is currently filming this 2016, there's a lot of people that still don't want to buy from an online store because they don't feel safe. I know in my demographic, in my dance clothing store, a lot of women will call up because they want to place the order over the phone. They don't feel safe spending the kind of money that they spend with my store online. So make sure it's easy for them to contact you. Some other ideas, you could have a live chat box, which is absolutely genius. Just in general, make sure it's as easy as possible for these people to contact you. Number 3, when you're designing your page, make sure you think about an FAQ page. Now, I'll be honest, my FAQ page is not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's effective. It has the list of my most frequently asked questions, and there's 2 reasons I want to do this. 1, I don't want to answer the phone calls and say, the common questions that I get, I don't want to have to answer those every time. I'd rather have a page where they're just pre-listed there and people can go there to read them. The second part is a lot of people are never going to make that phone call. If they can't find their answer to the question that they have about your site, they'll move on to the next site that makes it easy for them. Now this ties back into the idea I talked about in part 1, which is don't make the customer think. So if the customer has to think, how do I make this purchase, or what size should I get, or anything like that, and you don't give them the answer quick enough, they're going to go somewhere else and they're going to find a different company that will make it easy for them. So number 3 is have an FAQ page. Number 4, and this is a problem I see a lot with beginning sites, is category pages aren't easy to navigate. A lot of people aren't going to go to your deep product pages right off the bat. They're probably going to either land on a category page or they're going to navigate themselves to a category page. So make sure, think about it from the customer's mindset. Once they get to a category page, how do they figure out where they want to go next? What is the flow, the workflow? If it's too confusing, that's going to be a problem. So the category pages are extremely important. I know for my site, it's one of the top landed on pages are my category pages. I wish they were the deep product pages sometimes, but it tends to be category pages. So make sure you think about not just the design of your product pages when it comes to conversion, but think about the design of your category pages when it comes to conversion. And the goal of the category page should be to get them to a product page where they can purchase something. So make that decision as easy as possible for them. If you have a lot of options, make sure it's simple for them to narrow down what they're going to get from the category page. Number 5, avoid product overload. A lot of sites I see, they just have products all over the place. And this is a problem from the consumer's perspective because it's too much. You want to think about Apple for a second here. The reason Apple is able to have so much success is they only have a few models. If you want a new Apple laptop, you really don't have too many options. Contrast that with a Windows PC. If I decide I want to get a new Windows PC today, I got to spend a few hours researching, do I want an HP? Do I want a Dell? Do I want a compact? Do I want this? Do I want that? It's a lot of information, and what's going to happen there? I'm going to have to think. Once again, you don't want your customers to think. You want it to be as easy as possible for them. So what you want to do is on any one page, try not to make them suffer from product overload. Now, some sites like Amazon are able to do this. They still have a lot of products, but at no point is it there too many. It never feels like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. So make sure you think about that. Make it as simple from a product standpoint for your customers to decide what they want. Don't suffer from product overload. Number 6, and this is extremely important, ask people. Ask people how your site feels. Is it easy to navigate? Does it work well? And I have a story about this. When I first was starting my online store, and that's a whole nother long story, but when I was first starting my online store, I spent 10, 20, 30, 40, probably hundreds of hours, I don't even know how much, designing my store. And I finally thought it was perfect. I thought it was pretty and I thought it was great. And then I showed it to my roommate who was a girl at the time, and she looked at me and she said, yeah, it just doesn't say buy me. She's like, it's a great looking site, but it doesn't say buy me. And the reason was it was kind of a dark, chic looking site, but I looked at my competitor's site and what were they doing? They had very clean, bright sites. So ask people what they think, because obviously to you, it's going to be extremely easy to navigate your site. You know how you built it. You know how it works. But ask other people, ask your mom, ask family members, ask random people about what your site feels like and how it can be improved. But as a side note, even better than asking your friends, family, whatever, ask people in your target audience. For me, I sell dance clothing. I actually ended up going to dance studios and saying, here's my site, how can it be improved? And they came up with things that I never would have thought about. In fact, I don't think any of my friends or family members would have thought about either. So start with friends and family, but if you can move on to your target audience, that's even better. Number 7, and this is actually another very important tip, is your product pages are so important. We talked about category pages earlier, and those are very important as well, but your product pages are so important. So make sure they're clear, informative, and people can make easy decisions as much as possible. So here's some ways to do that. 1, make sure the add to cart button is above the fold. What this means is that on a computer screen, people can see it without having to scroll. Once again, if you'll have to scroll, you're making them have to you're making them have to think where your add to cart button is, you're gonna lose people. So make sure it's above the fold, make sure it pops. Make sure add to cart button pops and that it's easily findable. Also make sure your images of your products are big. If you can do the hover over zoom feature, that's always nice. Also try to have as many images as possible of your product from different angles, things like that. Another tip, little hack, is have the regular price, cross that out in the sale price. You see this all the time, but it makes people think that, oh, normally this is a $60 item, but I'm getting it for $29.99. This is a sale, I better act quickly. It also gives you some room in the future if you want to raise your prices, to raise them without drawing any concerns, because people might say, hey, this used to be $29.99, now it's $34.99, what happened? You can tell them, well, that was the sale price. The sale is now over. And so that's a real easy way to do that. Some other things is you want unique and good descriptions. A lot of people just use the general manufacturer standard descriptions, especially with drop shipping stores. They tend to just use whatever was given to them by default. And there's so many reasons to use good descriptions. 1, it's engaging. I mean, you want people reading your stuff. If it's some dry things like 100% cotton, made in the USA, whatever, just some boring bullet points, that's no good. But if you can say something unique about your product, it's going to engage people more. Also, there's SEO value. If your product just has the same thing you can find on 100 other sites, your product page has the same description as 100 other sites, Google's not going to think that's so great. But if you write a paragraph of really interesting text, Google's going to see that that's unique and want to rank you a little bit higher. Another note about your product pages is have as much information on that product page as possible. If people have to go from your product page to a different page to figure out things like sizing or different questions they have about ordering, you're going to lose people. So within their product page, have everything they need to know about this product and make it extremely convenient for them. Every Tuesday, I release new e-commerce tips and tricks videos. The goal of these Tuesday tips and tricks videos is to help your e-commerce store be more effective at making you money. Make sure you click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can get these videos delivered to your YouTube account every week and you can stay ahead of the marketing trends. And if you're looking to start or grow your e-commerce business, you can click up here or down below to get access to my free e-commerce success pack, which includes checklist for making sure that your e-commerce store is optimized as it can be to help make you money. It's also going to include marketing ideas, access to the free monthly webinar we do on, basically it's a live event where we do like Q&A type stuff. Thanks guys, and don't forget we have new tips and tricks videos every Tuesday, new e-commerce news videos every Monday, and Wednesdays I have Q&A videos for you. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.